Welcome back to Big Ugly Bill Watch, Senate Edition. Here's the game plan for this week. So as a recap, we now have a bill, H.R. 1. Remember, in the Senate, not only do they go through markups, they also go through the bird bath, which is going to strip the bill of anything that is not budget related. Assuming this thing can get out of committees, which we will menace it greatly in the meantime, we need 4 Republican senators to vote no, and the bill will actually die on the Senate floor. Assuming it doesn't die on the Senate floor, remember, it has to go back to the House floor vote 2.0, and we have to get it past another majority again. And with the nonsense that happened in the first round, that's going to be an interesting experience. Now let's talk about the major players. First major player, John Thune. He is the Senate Majority Leader, and he's from South Dakota. He is Speaker Johnson's counterpart in the Senate. Let's talk about the fiscal hawks. The 3 that are the most vocal right now are Ron Johnson, Rick Scott, and Mike Lee. These are the guys who are complaining a lot about the deficit addition. Now, of course, like any good Republican, they're complaining about the spending instead of the trillions in tax cuts. On the other side of the issue, we have the Medicaid people. These are the senators who know darn well that if Medicaid were cut to this degree, that their constituents will suffer the most. Specifically, this is Josh Hawley from Missouri, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, and Jerry Moran from Kansas. Lisa's the one who's crying about how Donald Trump is threatening them, and that's why she's so scared to stand up for her constituents. Josh Hawley is an opportunist populist, but I stole that term from Amanda's Mild Takes, because his state constitution will actually trigger something that causes him to not be able to give state tax breaks to the wealthy if Medicaid is cut to the extent that it will be. Now, let's talk about Class 2. These are some very interesting senators, and they are probably the most vulnerable right now. So you'll recall that every 2 years, congressmen, that's in House of Representatives, they get reelected. In the Senate, it's different. They go by classes. There are 3 classes, and this particular Class 2 is the one that's up in 2026. There are 2 senators of note from Class 2, Susan Collins from Maine and Tom Tillis from North Carolina. On top of that, Susan Collins is another one who understands very well that Medicaid will drastically impact her constituents and that she is going to be extremely unpopular and extremely unelectable if she allows this to happen. Finally, let's talk about the Inflation Reduction Act people. There were a bunch of green energy tax credits passed with the Inflation Reduction Act in 2022 under Biden, and there are 3 senators in this little chart here who are affected by that. Tom Tillis, Lisa Murkowski, and Jerry Moran. Their constituencies are very sensitive to this because their states made huge investments in this infrastructure and are depending on those tax credits to see the work through. So obviously they're going to have some very angry constituents, namely companies, on their back. And there's nothing like a corporation to motivate a Republican to do literally anything. If you're looking for a senator to call this week and you're from Wisconsin, Florida, Utah, Missouri, Alaska, Kansas, Maine, or North Carolina, congratulations, your senator is up to bat. And I will be making these calls and I will post them for you so that you can see some samples, scripting, and talking points. Have fun and enjoy another week of being toxic to the big, beautiful bill.